Oh, it's fantastic. The colors are just so vibrant, and everybody is so smooth with their movements. It's really fantastic.
Your colors were mesmerizing. The color combinations were out of this world.
Oh my gosh, just wonderful. They're so graceful, so talented, so beautiful.
Breathtaking, gorgeous precision. I was in awe the entire time.
神韵舞蹈演员们专业又完美的表现，让观众们赞叹连连，更感到身临其境。
They're amazing. Their talent is incredible. I don't know how they can move that way, and they don't even make a sound when they land.
I felt so stunned the entire time. It was just breathtaking, and it seemed very surreal that they were able to do the movements to the music that perfectly.
神韵深刻的内涵也让观众多有所悟。
Well, it seems very spiritual, very profound, and I think it comes from a place of a desire for growth and oneness with the universe. You know, it's eye-opening. It's very spiritual and kind of gives me a better sense of my place in the universe and knowing that we're all here together.
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Yeah, I found the prison sequence so moving. I didn't realize that they blinded her. It was just overwhelming to me.
It hit us in the heart of how the Chinese are not able to see this.
神韵振奋人心，有观众久久不愿离场，并表示明年一定会再来。
This has just been a highlight of my life to be able to come and enjoy this.
We did not want to leave our seats.
It was very stunning, uplifting, rewarding, and I definitely will return again.
新唐人记者王自毅、张文刚，加州克莱蒙特采访报道。
There's a lot of peace in there. There's a lot of spiritual peace, and with the dancing and the music and the costumes and the color and the screen in the background, it's just amazing. It's a paradise. It's nice.
I absolutely loved it. I adored it. This is my second time here, and I wanted to make sure that we sat very close so I could really capture all of the expression, and it was just mesmerizing tonight.
舞蹈演员们的精湛技艺与专业表现，观众们有目共睹。
Obviously, the dancers go through this time and time and time again. You know, repetition is the mother of skill. It's clear to me that everybody on stage has done this 1,000 times, and when you're really good and you're professional, they make it look easy. And it's a beautiful...
They were having fun, making fun of their craft, and they had charisma and spontaneity. So, but I do believe that the thread of their divine spiritualism, it definitely came through.
观众表示，神韵晚会让他们欢欣愉悦。
Well, it's stimulating. When you look at color, it pops. I mean, boom. It just makes you feel good. And this show is rich in color, and it makes me feel good.
It was like living in a rainbow. The colors were so vibrant and alive. You just felt good inside. We are leaving here as high as a kite. We just feel so enthralled and just like ready to take on whatever lies for us. I felt really relaxed in there with the music, intertwining the Western instruments with the Eastern instruments. So it was very soothing.
他们异口同声力荐神韵。
In a heartbeat, you have to see Shen Yun. It's stimulating.
Well, if it was on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 15.
And this is up live, close and personal. So we got the real deal right here.
新唐人记者金欢、袁科，加州克莱蒙特采访报道。
Obvious that there's a very strong spiritual component to it, that there's more than just movements, physical movements, but somehow I think that beauty starts in the mind, and the beauty, if there's beauty in the mind, then that comes out through the actions of the body. And I really feel that there's a unity like that here of a good spirit and also beautiful movements of the body. So I really love it.
大卫·罗伯茨牧师是西雅图一家科技公司自动化产品的主要开发者。他表示，神韵带给他许多启发，同时演出的纯美温暖身心，净化心灵。
Anything you see like this that's beautiful helps you become a better person. And the important thing is just if you can just keep it and not get, in a sense, polluted by the reality of our world. I really wish that we could see things like this more often. When we see something beautiful, we become more beautiful.
大卫·罗伯茨表示，神韵的音乐悦耳，让他感受到这是来自上苍的礼物。他赞赏神韵展现了从古至今真实的中国。
Organ harvesting and the persecution in China, and it's just really, it's so terrible. So also we went to support in general by going to Shenyang and other things to support, this persecuted practice of Falun Dafa. I understand that during the Cultural Revolution that so many things were destroyed during, of the classical Chinese way. Anything old was wrong and was destroyed. And it's important, I think, to see that this kind of classical art is revived, and I just wish that that the original Chinese culture could really flower again.
I appreciate everybody who performed tonight and the talent that they bring. To see it represented where there is help, there is hope, there is a physical representation of that divine intervention. It was beautiful and inspired hope.
新唐人旧金山记者站华盛顿州西雅图采访报道。
Wow. This is a spectacular. It gives me some hope.
观赏了神韵周四晚的演出，西北太平洋享有盛名的建筑企业公司总裁，同时也是当地专业屋顶委员会的董事，并投身慈善事业的 Jared Brooke 先生表示，神韵演员全身心的投入感染着他。
Colors, everything is so smooth. It just makes you feel real comfortable. You get a real sense of the time frames, the era that it is depicting. The people in that era were having fun, and they had a great leader at the time, but they came together on several occasions to just bring out the best in each other.
西雅图观众表示，神韵演出引人入胜，抚慰心灵。
Watching the performances gives you sort of this immediate sense of respect for what you're seeing and what must be behind it.
It's very cultural. It's very different than anything I've seen worldwide, as we realize that we have more in common than we have that divides us. I think that's a really good thing, and I think spirituality is something that can certainly bring us together and give us an opportunity to learn from each other and take the best of what each culture provides and incorporate it in our lives, and I think that makes us better people.
Understanding a little bit more about the different ethnic and the different diversity within the culture. I think it's I think ultimately that comes out. I think people on their own develop a sense of oneness or their own identity, which I think is important.
新唐人旧金山记者站华盛顿州西雅图采访报道。
美国神韵国际艺术团4月6号在西雅图玛丽恩·奥利弗麦考剧院的2场演出盛况空前，剧院内高潮迭起，笑声、掌声不断。演出结束时，观众对神韵艺术家们报以热烈的掌声和欢呼声。
It's very interesting and elegant to me, but to my granddaughters, having the ability to speak Chinese and going to a Chinese school, I think they loved it.
带着正在学习中文的孙女来看演出，地产投资公司老板约翰·马利克惊讶于神韵展现丰富精神内涵与5000年中国文化的底蕴，并希望能够更多地了解中国文化。
Educational because of the different cultures in China. Educational because of the fact something like this can't be performed in China. Inspirational at the talent and the commitment of all of the actors. It was just a fantastic show.
I've just been so impressed and relaxed at the same time. It's just a wonderful experience to be able to see that kind of talent.
It's a cultural experience, and I think it breaks through gender barriers for my son in particular, to be able to see the strong men out there dancing.
旅游公司创办人与首席执行长凯利·乔普拉第2次观看神韵，首次带儿子来看演出，希望每年观看神韵成为家庭传统。
It was divine and beautiful and really kind of opened up our hearts.
It's so important to keep the culture alive.
It's so ancient, and it did well in showing different cultures in China. That was very educational to me, something I didn't know, and I enjoyed it a lot.
That all these things build on each other in the arts over many, many centuries in China, but everywhere. We always have to be aware of that, and that freedom is important to develop the arts, to make arts blossom, and to make us all blossom as people. And so the message about communism and what it did to stifle that awakening of the spirit of that in China, I think is very important, and it's something we need to take to heart in America today.
新唐人旧金山记者站华盛顿州西雅图采访报道。
My 4th time to see this performance, and every time there's something a little different. Tonight I did see some really beautiful coordination again, but the costumes, I love it, and I love the theme of fun, but a message also.
咨询公司首席执行长 Regina Glenn 第4次观看神韵，她认为演出中凸显女子善良、温柔婉约、男子阳刚正气的中国传统文化，很受启发。
It's really good to see a very respectful way to point out the benevolence of the divine and how it is, played out in both the beauty and the precision of all the performance.
The movement is very exhilarating, the flips, and the dancers actually spend some of their time up in the air, but it's also very peaceful because the movement is very fluid.
Not only the grace and the choreography of all of them in perfect unison, but just their amazing talent in being able to pull in and out all those beautiful sleeves.
It's great production. It's fast-paced. You see the different cultures, different times.
It was both surprising and kind of refreshing to see it presented here in the way that it was, as something that's just normal and it's part of the culture. I thought that was wonderful to see. There's a spirituality, I think, that comes across in this performance, and I think that society would do well to embrace that.
前软件公司老板 Ryan Gaines 表示，神韵展现的精神内涵对当今的社会走出自我有着重要的意义。
In a lot of parts of society, they've suppressed that, and I think that it leaves a hole in the society. When you suppress the things that are that important to such a large number of people.
Everyone has freedom of speech, and everyone can present their art form in whatever way they want, and that in China it's not that way, and not everybody has the opportunity to be an artist the way they want or to see art the way that they want, and that I think sometimes we forget that in other places.
The continuum of the Chinese culture has been something to be admired.
I've watched the YouTube videos on how hard the students work to be conditioned as they are, and what a privilege it is they feel, and I love to see that. So supporting it is the way that I bring it to my home.
新唐旧金山记者站华盛顿州西雅图采访报道。